Back in science class, we learned that atoms have protons in the nucleus, which have a positive electrical charge, and electrons that spin around the outside, that have a negative electrical charge. There are supposed to be the same number of protons as electrons, which would balance each other out. However, an atom or a molecule can lose an electron, which makes it a free radical. It's looking for a missing electron, and it will steal one from someone else who gets close. An atom or a molecule can also pick up an electron, which makes it a negative ion or an antioxidant. Because when a negative ion with an extra electron meets up with a free radical looking to steal an electron, it has a spare one to donate without damaging itself. Most water has a positive electrical charge, so it will speed up the oxidation of metal. Cleveland tap water is off the charts positive. Well, if you were a piece of steel wool, what would oxidation look like? I think we would call that rust. In theory, the added electrons in the ionized water should, believe it or not, prevent the steel wool from rusting. So we're going to take our alkaline ionized water, and we're going to use tap water over here. A little more ionized water. And we're going to put our little hats on. You can't really hold electrons in a glass, but we can slow them down from escaping. So we're going to leave this overnight. What happened here? Because we want to emphasize that both pieces of steel wool were put in Cleveland tap water. But the water on the left went through a water ionizer, where it was first passed through 2 filters, and the second filter can be upgraded to one that has the filtration capacity of a kidney dialysis machine. Then it went into the water cell, where it was separated into an alkaline and an acidic stream. In the process, it picked up extra electrons so that it has spare ones to donate when it comes in contact with a free radical which is missing an electron. Now, the ionization only lasts maybe 24 to 48 hours, but if you change the water every day and keep it covered, the steel wool on the left will not oxidize. How many blueberries would you have to eat to get this kind of antioxidant protection? Water is a polar molecule. It has a negative end and a positive end. So water molecules are magnetically attracted to other water molecules. That's why we always see water in beads or in drops. What we cannot see is that even in a glass, water molecules tend to cluster into groups as large as 16 molecules. The Nobel Prize in Chemistry for 2003 was awarded to 2 American scientists, Peter Agre and Roderick McKinnon, for discovering how water enters the cells. It goes in through a channel called an aquapore, 1 molecule at a time. So we can see how large clusters of molecules can mean that water is present outside the cell that doesn't necessarily enter the cell. When water is run through an ionizer, it temporarily becomes wetter. So we would like to propose a soak-off between the #1 best-selling brand of bottled water and some plain tap water that's been run through a top-of-the-line water ionizer that's been set on its highest setting. The water from an ionizer is as much as 6 times more hydrating than ordinary water. We're going to try and demonstrate this with 2 tea bags. We'll just start our little timer here. We're going to give you a 4-minute update here. You'll notice that the tea is streaming down from the tea bag that's in the ionized water. This was tap water from Cleveland, Ohio that was run through the ionizer that you saw earlier. This is actually pretty dramatic. Usually our bottled water does a little bit better than this, but as you can see, the ionized water certainly is more hydrating. We'll show you what's happening in 12 minutes. Okay, we'll stop here. But in case you were wondering if we left this longer, if the water on the right would ever catch up, you can leave it overnight. You can leave it for a couple of days. And the large clusters of water never catch up. Okay, our timer started over again, so I just wanted to give you one final shot. This is maybe 25 minutes, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but there just is a little bit of color in the bottom of the glass on the right. So in spite of the popularity of the saying, "You are what you eat," you are maybe 35% what you eat, and the rest is water. And we've learned that the people in the world who live the longest live in areas where the water is naturally ionized and highly alkaline. So because of this, Asian countries who take a different approach to health have developed water ionizers that recreate the properties of the water in Hunza and Vilcabamba, the alkalinity and the ionization. So how would we compare their longevity with other technologically advanced countries? The United Nations has a list of the life expectancy at birth for member nations with populations of 100,000 or more. Living on sugar and white flour and washing it down with acid has won the United States a 3-way tie for number 36. Where do people live the longest? It's Japan. And we're not talking about a few months longer. It's closer to a half a decade. Well, the secret's out. As the Western world learns about the benefits of alkaline ionized water, recent demand has exploded. But it probably won't be doctors who educate the public about the importance of hydrating with antioxidant water. It'll be athletes. How much difference does a fraction of an inch or a split second mean in professional sports? It can mean a gold medal or a new world record. Once an athlete or a team learns about a way to improve physical performance, opponents can either run with it or try to run against it. Meet the future. The next major industry is here.